Alright everyone, welcome back. In this video, I am going to be just getting ready for spring in general with my Cricut. So as spring is approaching, I'm either cleaning or I am purging. I'm also thinking through routines and thinking through new things that I want to build into my routines. So I'm just going to be doing a lot of things to get me organized as I jump into spring, and we're just going to get to crafting, and hopefully you gain a little nugget of inspiration if you're trying to do the same thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a really neat to-do list for myself. I actually purchased 3 of these because I want to do one just specifically for myself, but I'm also going to do some for my girls. Not in this video, but maybe I'll do it over on Instagram or something like that. So I found this at Target at the little dollar spot area, and I instantly fell in love with it. In fact, when it was, I think, Valentine's Day, I did something like this on my channel, but it didn't have the to-do and all of the lines and check boxes. It was just completely white. And so I was able to put a really fun design on there and make it into a piece of decor. But Target also brought these out, and it's really nice because you can do this one of 2 ways. You can set it up like this, which is probably how I'm going to do it, or you can set it down like this and it's still nice and propped up. I'm probably going to keep it like that for right now as I get it all decorated. There seems to be something on there which is kind of irritating, but that's okay. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to apply some rubbing alcohol just to the surface of it. As you can see, it did come with a little marker, which I'm going to use to actually do the little check boxes every day, but I liked the idea of having, again, as spring is approaching, I'm thinking through my routines, and I'm going to try to do more of a permanent routine, which is why I'm just going to put in vinyl also, because when you do it in vinyl, it stays put. It doesn't accidentally get erased. Second of all, you can use any font, which makes handwriting look amazing. So that is where I'm going to go with this. What I did is I'll put the font information down below, as well as anything that I am using to do any of the crafts. So I pulled a bunch of my scrap vinyl because I like to save it when I'm cutting it off of larger pieces, and it always comes in handy. So I'm doing all of my little tasks that I want to do and put on my to-do list, but I broke them up into little areas so that I could use all my scrap pieces. So I'm just going to simply weed out, there we go, and then I'll go back in and get all of the middles. Okay, so I'm getting some of these little middles all taken out, and as you can see, I'm just personalizing this to how I want to structure my day. Most of these things are things that I have been really good about building into my day, but I love a little task list, so I found that I'm writing the same things over and over in my planner to do each day because I like a routine. So I thought maybe I'll just make something more permanent that I can just keep out. And some of these things are things that I've done really good about building into my daily routine, but some of these things are going to help me get motivated to do certain things. So for example, about 5 years ago, decided to do 1 load of laundry every single day, no matter what. So every day I just pop a load of laundry in, and you might think that that is just nuts to do it every day, but I have found that it has been absolutely game-changing in my laundry. So every day it's just a manageable load. It's easy to really quickly wash, dry, fold, and put away, and it's just part of my routine, so it's super easy to do. Plus then I'm not spending Saturday or Sunday just completely overwhelmed with multiple loads of laundry and essentially doing the whole day doing it. So I just do little by little every single day, and it makes it so much more manageable. One thing that I'm going to try to do and be better about is I'm going to try to read a chapter a day. I used to read so much, and sometimes I go in really good spurts of where I feel like I'm getting a lot of reading done, but I think it's just a great little way to build in a little reading, little by little, just do a small goal of just a chapter a day. And it's nice because you can build that in at any part of your day, whether it's waiting for the kids to come out of school and you just go a tad bit early and read. That's been super helpful. Or maybe right before bed, you just build that in to, you know, your little bedtime routine, and maybe try to go to bed a little earlier so you can sneak that in. But it's just so nice to have a little dedication to reading something for fun. And more often than not, once you are able to sit down and put that into your routine, sometimes that turns into a couple chapters or 3 chapters. And before you know it, you are actually building that habit of reading again. Okay, and then my final little scrap piece. Gosh, it's so nice to not only get a little to-do list prepared, but it's nice that I was able to do it with scrap pieces of vinyl. That always makes me feel so good. Let me know if you feel the same way when you finally get some scraps used. This one was good because I used several pieces. Oops, I have a little dot to my eye that is totally stuck. Okay, there we go. This one got a little close to the bottom, so I may have cut off a tiny bit of the bottom of the word. I think it was just the S, but you know what? It's gonna work. It's gonna be just fine. One thing that I find has made such a difference in my life is having Bible time every day. And this year I am doing the Bible recap. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but oh my goodness, it has been absolutely life-giving. And I felt like I had a pretty good grasp on the Bible even before starting this. I mean, nobody is perfect at the Bible, right? It's quite a study, but I felt I was pretty confident with it. And then I started taking this study, and it's a daily study. I will link it down below because I am going to make it my personal goal to tell everybody about this because I am just absolutely amazed at how good it is. But it has taught me some things that I have never even thought of before, and I am just learning so much. So I put that on my daily to-do as well because first of all, it's just super important to me, but second of all, that's part of this year for me is working through that study. So I love it. I'll link it for you if you're interested. Okay, so as you can tell, I don't have the same number of tasks that I do little openings, but I saved my file in case later I want to go into Design Space and add any little tasks to my to-do list. But for me, sometimes I feel like just because I'm given a line and a little checkbox that I have to put something there. But I'm really trying to make this attainable for me, of something that I can achieve every single day instead of giving myself so much and overloading myself with tasks that all I feel like I'm doing is my to-do list, because that's not the goal here. My goal is just to kind of create a new routine. Okay, let me grab my transfer tape, and I think, oh, that's going to be just right. In fact, I'm going to put that on this one first, and then we'll do the other ones next. So I'm going to peel this up, lay it right on down, and then I'll burnish. And I'm going to do this one piece and then just trim them apart. I think that will make it just so easy. And again, I put my rubbing alcohol down on my to-do list. That way it is all ready to go. Okay. The only thing is I really wanted to do my Bible time first. So actually I can just put them, I don't have to put them in order over here as I'm doing it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grab and trim this apart. And then let's see if this releases really nicely. Here we go. Okay, make beds. Oh my gosh, I actually really enjoy making beds, but I have to focus and make sure that I do it. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I just have to be intentional and make time to do it. Okay, so that looks good. Make beds. And you can use a scraper if you'd like, but I think that's just fine. And then I'm going to put this over on my Bible time because I want that to be first. Okay. Another thing that I really like to build into a routine is a nagging task. And a nagging task for me is something that I keep putting off, whether that is replying to an email or oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of little nagging tasks, maybe cleaning a certain something in my house. And then it's something I don't want to do. Anyway, it's something that I'm putting off or I don't want to do. And it always feels so good to complete a nagging task because I feel like not only does it get done, but it's off of my mind as well. So I'm trying to think through, and maybe every day won't have a nagging task, right? But I'm trying to really think through and be intentional to tackle those. Okay, the 1 load of laundry a day, absolutely game changing. And again, I'll put font information down below so that if you want to recreate this, even if you can't find this little blank at Target, you can recreate this on just about anything. Okay, I'll put that over here. Okay, reading a chapter. There we go. We'll go ahead and just do this little piece because I know I want to place that Bible time right at the top. Oops, stuck to my mat. So again, I'll burnish the top and burnish the bottom. Okay, and now these are in little strips, so I don't need to do any more cutting. And I'll put Bible time right up there at the top. Trying to be mindful of my spacing. Okay, there we go. Dishwasher, oh my goodness. I've been really good about this. This is definitely a part of my routine. I start dishwasher immediately after dinner, before bedtime routine. That way, everything is ready for the next day. And this is the one where I got a little close with that S, but honestly, I don't think it's that obvious. Okay, the last few things. 10-minute tidy. My best friend told me about the 10-minute tidy, and it is amazing. You just have 10 minutes where either you yourself or your family just call a 10-minute tidy, and everybody just helps tidy up things, right? And trust me, there are a lot of little things every once in a while that just need a little help. We mainly do a 10-minute tidy in our playroom, but this can happen really in any area of your home, any area that you feel just needs a little tidy. Okay, and if I'm being honest, my craft room absolutely benefits from a 10-minute tidy. I've been doing really good about that, especially after crafting. That way, the next time I come to craft, if I've done a 10-minute tidy, everything is ready to go and it's not so overwhelming. Okay, obviously prep backpacks. It's definitely a really important part of my day to help the next day go so smooth. And there we go. Again, I did save my file in Cricut Design Space so that if I do think of 3 additional things I want to add to my routine every day, then I can just go in and add those. But I love how that turned out, and I love that I was intentional about not just adding things in order to complete the list, but actually being realistic with the things that I know are important to me and I know are attainable. All right, so that is the first idea for how I am getting myself organized this spring. I love how that looks. I love how clean that is. And again, I'll use the included little dry erase to put my little check marks in there every day. I love this because then I don't have to rewrite this. It's all ready to go. And the only thing I have to erase every day are my little check marks. Will I get every check mark every day? Probably not. And that's just life. But having a little goal and having it really nice and visual will really help me just structure my day. Okay, so we're done with that. Again, I bought 2 additional ones. I was thinking about doing a really fun and colorful one for each of my girls just to help them, you know, get some focus, especially in the morning when we're trying to get ready for school, of things that they need to accomplish in order to responsibly get ready for the day. So I think I'll do that, but I probably will just do it on Instagram. If not, maybe I'll bring it over and do it, sneak into a video upcoming. But I love how that turns out, and I can't wait to do one for my girls as well. Okay, with springtime comes lots of time outside. After a long winter, we are making it outside again. And I feel like when we do so, we are always on the go and always in need of snacks. So I found this nice little bag. It's actually advertised as a wet dry bag, so you could use it as such, but I'm going to use it as a little snack pouch because I love being able to keep a little designated pouch full of snacks for when it's time to go either to the park or on an outing. just helps keep everybody happy and successful for the outing. Okay, so I have a cute little snacks written out here, and I'll link the font that I used down below. And I had a more of like a varsity look to this, and I thought it would be super, super cute. And this one is the outline version. So we have little hollow inside. And there we go. Another way that you could use a bag like this is keep little toys in here for when you are either out and about, maybe either waiting at the pediatrician office and you have little entertainment toys that kiddos can play with. If you're at a restaurant, that's a great idea as well. Filling this with coloring book and a little set of crayons is helpful too. Again, I'm gonna run in the little snack direction, and I think that's gonna look super cute. Okay, let's get some transfer tape and place this down. Okay, so I have some transfer tape, and it's nice and long, so in order to get this to lay down really nice, I'll just do it little by little. Ooh, and it went crooked, so it's gonna be a little situation there at the top, but we can handle it. Okay, grabbing a squeegee. Now, if you do have exposed vinyl like I do, sorry, my camera keeps going in and out of focus, and I'm not sure if it's just exhausted or what's going on, but let me move in a little bit to see if that kind of helps it calm down. Okay, so if you have exposed vinyl like this, make sure you're very careful with your squeegee, because this runs through and runs over really nicely when you have a nice, smooth transfer tape on the top, but it doesn't roll over exposed vinyl nicely, and it can really snag it and ruin it. So just be super careful if you run into a little snafu like I did and you kind of get your transfer tape crooked. Okay, no big deal though. As long as you have most of it, I find that it works out. So let me peel this off, being careful because now we're getting into that area where it's just kind of floating. Okay. Here we go, and let's get this to lay down. Oh, that's gonna be super cute. Perfect for fruit snacks and granola bars and all the goodies. Oh, there we go. Oh, we have to just be gentle here. Okay, we did all right. Let's grab that squeegee again, and again, I'm gonna be really careful where my exposed vinyl is. And that is being quite stubborn, wanting to come up on this plasticky material. So just being mindful and gentle. Oops, I got a little snag in it. And I have another project a little bit later, but I need something long like this. So I'm just gonna set that to the side, and hopefully I can reuse that. I have a little bit more here, and there we go. So I love little pouches like this. I also use these a lot in my craft room, whether it's kind of keeping my favorite things that I use over and over again. For example, I have this for card making, not this exact one, but I have a pouch just like this for card making where I put all of my favorite dies or stamps in that I use time and time again. That way they are quick and easy and within reach all the time. So if you're not thinking of making a little snack pouch, you can use these for organizing as well. Especially as we are starting into spring and thinking of organizing, keep things like this in mind. You can add a quick label to them and have something super, super organized and adorable at the same time. Speaking of always being on the go, let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit so we can see all of this. I found this cute little lunch bag at the Target dollar spot. It was $5, and it has that same kind of theme as the pouch that we saw earlier, which was the snack pouch that I just did. And what I'm going to do is I am going to, as we're thinking about spring and getting outside, I'm going to create a little lunch pail for myself. My kids always have really cute lunch boxes because they're going to school, but I don't really have anything for myself anymore. So I saw this and thought this is going to be absolutely perfect. And I love the size of it too. So I'm going to open this up. Now I want to be mindful because on the inside of the actual lunchbox is this liner, right? So I'm not going to put my heat on there, but I am going to, because I don't have any additional liner here, I'm going to add my monogram to the top of this little pail here. And I thought it'd be really pretty to do this in a gold foil iron-on. So what I did is grabbed my little heat tool here. Might help if I turned it on. Come on, Bethany. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on low. Let me heat that up for a second, and then I'm gonna preheat the material first and foremost. While that preheats, what I can do is I'll find the font that I use. I actually purchased one from Cricut. I don't do that often, but I accidentally didn't realize that it wasn't a free font, even though I promise you, I clicked the free button when I was searching. And I mean, I guess, I don't know, something went wrong because all of a sudden I fell in love with this, and at the end it made me pay for it. So somehow it must have not been free, but I liked this font for just a simple but traditional monogram. And again, I did it with some foil iron-on. I thought that would be really pretty with the whole feel of this little pattern on this lunchbox. Okay, so I'm just going to preheat really quickly. Again, I have the Easy Press Mini on low. And let me also lint roll this. Okay, making sure there's nothing on the front of this that would prevent my iron-on from laying down. And then I'm simply going to center that the best that I can. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna love this. It's gonna look really nice and high end after this is on there too. Okay, that looks nice. You heard a chime, and now, I don't know if you noticed earlier, but this was kind of an orangey red, but now it's green. Green means it's ready to go. It has reached the desired temperature. Again, I have it on low, which is just one little wavy mark. And you can move around the Easy Press Mini while pressing, so I'm gonna do so. It was created and intended to move while heating. And I just have a heat pad. I made this heat pad. I'll link a video showing me making it, so if you want to make a heat pad for yourself, you can do so. And I always just monitor my material in front of me, make sure nothing is melting or anything, but that's doing really, really well. Okay, and sometimes you might need more heat, sometimes you might need less. So that's why I always recommend you just monitor your material. And what I'll do is remove it from my heat, and I'm just gonna flip this over and put it on my cold mat so I can just draw that heat out. Okay, and once it's nice and cool, I'll go ahead and remove the liner. And I'm just gonna monitor, make sure everything is laying down, and everything is. If for some reason part of my design wasn't laying down, I could just place this right back over the top. You wanna always place a barrier between your iron-on and your heat source. You don't wanna ever put it right on there. So protect both your iron and your iron-on by placing your liner right back over, and then just give it additional heat. But that's unnecessary for mine because it went ahead and ironed on really well. And then I have a nice personalized little lunch tote for myself. It's so exciting to have that. I feel like the kids always get little lunch boxes every year, and it's nice to have something for myself, especially when we're going out and about. Okay, so again, this was the Target dollar spot, but you can find things like this everywhere. So pick up one, just be mindful of the material that you're ironing onto. They can have a lot of different materials inside because they are trying to insulate. Obviously, that's why it's a lunch tote, but you'll just want to be mindful of where you're placing the iron on so you don't accidentally disrupt or melt the insulation material. So there is our next little craft for helping me get organized for spring, and I love how that turned out. Something else that I'm being mindful to do this summer is I'm going to do a raised garden, and we are in a new home this year, and we have a really good opportunity to create a raised garden, so I'm going to do my best. I feel like I'm getting better and better with plants every year, and I've wanted to do a raised garden for a while now, but either just time or space hasn't allowed it, but now I feel like this is our year. So I went ahead and I wrote out the things that I want to attempt this year in our little raised garden. And I found this garden set again at Target in the dollar spot. It has a little variety of fun things in it, but I was particularly in love with the little garden stakes. I also really love this little scoop. I think that's going to definitely come in handy. So I'm going to set the rest of this to the side, and I'm going to focus on these little stakes. Now, my best friend is the most amazing gardener that I have ever met, and she has definitely encouraged me, answered so many of my questions. So when I was thinking through what I'm going to attempt this year, she either told me yes or no on whether I should try those or shouldn't, or if she'd had experience with those. So this was the little list that we both came up with. We have done tomatoes before, and those are super, super fun. Cilantro and basil we've done before, and I love them because they're so easy. And we actually tried peppers before, and they did pretty good, but I feel like I could do better. But my friend said carrots and cucumbers are super easy to do as well, so we're going to attempt those. Plus, my kids could live on carrots and cucumbers if I let them. So it'll be really nice to see the whole process and just grow our own. Okay, cilantro, which is one of my most favorite things in the entire world, is going to go on this first little marker. Okay, now you can get things like this anywhere. So just, whoops, go ahead and search for little garden labels or stakes, and then you can personalize them with your Cricut. Okay, I'm going to go through and just get all of these placed on, and then we'll be prepared to start our garden pretty soon. I think we're going to need to wait just a little longer. We are in a really good spring mood right now. Today it was almost 70 degrees. We spent the majority of our day after church outside, and it was lovely. It was so nice, but it wouldn't surprise me if later in the week we woke up to snow. So it's still too soon for us to do anything more permanent outside like a garden. Now, if you have ideas for things that you find, again, I'm going to be a super beginner gardener, but if you have ideas of things that have been super easy for you, or if you have certain tips that you think I should be aware of that will help me be more successful, please let me know down in the comment section. It's been a dream of mine to do a raised garden bed for a while now, so I'm really hoping that we are successful with it, and more importantly, that we just have fun with it. Okay, I feel like carrots is off to a rough start, so I don't know if that is a sign from God that, you know, the carrots are not going to be my favorite to grow. I'm not sure, but we got it fixed. Hopefully we have a good start with carrots, because the little stake is a little, I don't know. She's looking a little sad. Okay, our last one is, ooh, almost cucumbers too. Oh, I need to slow down maybe. Okay, there is cucumbers. Let me straighten that out a little bit. I know I can do better than that. Okay, there we are. So this is the first step. I guess the first step is getting all of the seeds and stuff, but now we're all prepared. And actually my friend told me to start with the plants, not to worry about starting with seeds. So that's what we're going to try to do. All right, another thing that is preparing us for spring is done. I think those turned out super cute. Okay, so as I'm thinking about being outdoors, I am thinking of some nice decor for our back patio. And I found this really nice enamel sign at our local grocery store. So I went ahead and picked one up, but you can find these anywhere. So I'm pretty sure they even have these at craft stores. I just really liked the black outline. Has a nice little farmhouse look to it that I thought was really pretty. Okay, I will link where I found this file down below, but I instantly fell in love with this. I actually have a little bit of extra vinyl that I can trim off over here. Save that for later. And let's go ahead and begin weeding this. Okay, so once I get a little corner weeded, I can get a little magnet there to help me feel like I have more than 2 arms. Okay, ooh, that's a really fine, look at that little line there. Oh my goodness. That is teeny tiny. Okay, that reminds me that we are going to take this slow, because we have some fine pieces of this font that we're working with. Okay, let's get this placed back down. Okay. This, that was very, very fine. I'm glad to get past that little section. But this is going to say, welcome to our backyard. I think it says patio. Well, I actually can't remember what it says. Is it patio and grill? I guess it is bar and grill, which, hey, oops, we're missing that little Y. Hold on, we gotta find that. Okay, I found it. We're gonna have to do just a little bit of surgery, but she's gonna make it. She is absolutely going to make it easy peasy. Okay, there we go. Like it didn't even happen. Okay, I'm gonna grab all of these little middles, taking my time though. As you can see, it is just fine and intricate there. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to add a little bit of rubbing alcohol to my little sign because I didn't do that before, which is just fine. It dries so quickly. So let me go ahead and just clean that off. And this is just removing dust, also oils. So if you are one like me who likes to wear lotion and you're touching the front of whatever you're putting vinyl on, you may want to just wipe it off. That way the vinyl just lays down and lasts better. All right, let's get transfer tape on, and I'm more than excited to see this put together, not only because I want to hang it up, but also because that was so fine that I want to get this transferred over so I can stop worrying about it. Okay, so this is a tad big, but that's okay because I can put it right back on the liner once I'm done, and I can use it for my next larger project. Okay, so let's just put this down little by little, and we'll do, whoops, we'll do that. Okay. And we'll just remove that magnet and slowly lay that down. Okay, there we go. And burnish. I feel so much better knowing that it's just on the transfer tape now. There are some tiny little pieces, but what a testament that the cutting machine can cut so nicely. And it's also a testament to the vinyl. So I'll link my favorite vinyl down below. Many times people ask what my favorite vinyl is, so I'll link mine because I actually don't, I mean, the Cricut vinyl is it's pretty good, it's fine, but I have found something that I find to be much better. And when you have intricate projects like this one, you really want good vinyl. Okay, so now while that's flipped over, let's go ahead and remove this cutting sheet. There we go. Taking my time because I know there's a lot of thin pieces. But that did great. Okay. Then we'll just lay this down. Lay that down. That looks good. Oh, I like that. Okay. And then once more reinforce that with the scraper. And then I'll grab that liner for my transfer tape, and then I can, once I'm done, I can pull this up and put it right back onto that liner in order to save it for the next project. It makes reusing your transfer tape so easy. Okay, let's just gently peel this up, and that Y fixed itself beautifully. You can't even tell that that had a little whoopsie. Okay, and there we go. And I have a little weeding piece, but there it goes. Went with that. And then again, I can just grab this, place my transfer tape right back on there, and it'll be ready for next time. All right, there we go. How cute did that turn out? I like it. I like the simplicity of the black border with the black vinyl on there. It's going to match the whole vibe of our little backyard patio. So that looks super cute. All right, let's go ahead and keep crafting and getting my all ready for spring. Okay, part of spring in my house is going through closets and seeing what we've grown out of, and when necessary, repurchasing the next size up. So my little boy is growing faster by the minute and had to go through his closet as well. And I'm gonna get him a couple new things, but I also wanted to make him a cute little shirt. So spring cleaning is in full mode at my house, and we've got little donation piles, and it always feels so good. It's also nice to get some fresh things in their wardrobe, because sometimes they get little favorite shirts and they just wear them and wear them and wear them out. So sometimes it's nice to give them something new to fall in love with. Okay, I found this SVG. It was so cute. So I'm gonna make him a little dinosaur shirt, but it's kind of got this geometric pattern on it. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this all weeded out, but it's gonna take me a bit. So I'll just put some music on and you can just enjoy the process. Okay, I'm finally getting that weeded out. Oh my goodness. That was a labor of love, but it's going to be so worth it. So as you could see, I was just putting all of the little scraps on the side of my little cutting sheet because it's sticky. So it just clings those pieces right back down. That way they're contained. Okay, and then there is my cute little dinosaur. Isn't that cute? Okay, let me remove all of these. In fact, I can just kind of stick them right on this sheet, get that all thrown away. And what I'm gonna do is go over to my heat press now, and we're gonna press this on. So I'm going to pre-press my shirt to make sure there's no moisture. I did just wash and dry this, so I wanna make sure that there's no moisture still in the shirt. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is lint roll it. As you can see, there are some little hairs on there, so I wanna make sure there's nothing on the surface, and then I'll go ahead and press my iron-on down. Okay, now I will just let this cool. I'm going to bring it over to my nice cold mat and draw that heat out. And once it's nice and cool, I can peel up the liner. And again, just like earlier when I was doing iron-on, I'll just monitor all the edges, make sure everything is laid down. And I love that. It's just simple, it's cute, it's kind of modern and funky. So that is a cute little addition to his closet, which is nice. And again, during the spring, I love to go ahead and donate everything that has been outgrown and put a couple new things in their closet. So here is one way that you can do that, but you can use your Cricut machine and do some personal apparel. I found this little bin at the Target dollar spot. I feel like they had a couple colors, but I was really intrigued by this green because as I'm spring cleaning, I am also organizing some areas within our playroom that just need a little additional organization. So one of those areas is my son's little play cars and the little car mats. So I'm going to just wipe down the surface. I'm going to put a little label right on the side here. Let me set that to the side to dry. Okay, and while that dries, I used the same font as earlier when I was doing that cute little snack pouch. I think it's just so cute. And I love the outline nature of it. But I simply spelled out cars, and we're going to label that nice little tote bin with this cute little word here. Okay, whoops, got a little quick on that one. Let's make sure that we get that laid back down just so. Okay, that looks good. And, whoops, the last little S. Okay, and earlier I had that long piece that I saved to the side. Let's see if we can reuse that. Peel this right on up. And I'll bring this right on in. Again, I did clean the front. And oh, that'll look so nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and place that right on down. Oops, I got a little bubble there. Let me grab my little weeding tool. Just mend that a little bit before it lays down. There we go. Oh, that looks great. Okay, so let's just burnish this down. Okay, and taking my time. Sometimes plastics, they take the vinyl really easy, and sometimes you have to kind of nudge it along. This one was pretty much on the easy side, so it laid down pretty good. Oh, I love how fresh and clean that looks. Okay, that turned out really, really cute. So I'm gonna put all of his little play cars in one side, and then he has these little mats that you fold up that have all the little roads and all of the fun little stop signs on them. So I'll fold those up for the other side, but that is going to be so nice. I love that it has a handle too, so that we can just grab and go play. It'll be nice for when it's time to get outdoors and we can take this inside and outside. I love this, and I love that it's serving a purpose and solving an organizational problem. The last thing that I want to do, as always, is create a fun little mug for the season. I never hesitate to bring a little something new into my cupboard, and I found this at our local grocery store. I thought it was so cute. I love this color too for spring. And let's see, Clay Art is the brand there in case you want to try to find it, but I thought that was super cute. Okay, a couple videos ago during an Easter video, I made really fun little daisy mugs, and they were a little like a wrap cut file that I had gotten. They had hearts in the middle. So this time I'm using the same cut file, but I went ahead and contoured the heart center out just because I didn't want that particular look on this mug. So I am simply going to apply these little flowers like stickers, and I am going to focus on that mustard section and just make this look super, super cute. It's probably going to look really methodical as I lay them down, kind of just up, down, up, down, up, down, but I think that'll be just fine. Now I do want to be mindful though of where I sip so that I don't put a daisy there. So I sip here because I'm right-handed, so I'll put this little flower down. That way my lip doesn't come into contact with the vinyl. So vinyl technically isn't food safe, so you just want to be aware of that. But I wanted to do something wordless that was just super cute, and that was, I don't know, just ready for spring. And these little flowers are they understand the assignment. That's all I'm gonna say. They're adorable. Okay, and I think I cut out about 15 of them, and let's see, it looks like I used not even half of that. So that is what that turned out like. I think that's really cute. Again, I sip from here, so I was just mindful to leave an opening for where I sip my coffee, but very cute, very fun, and for spring. I love that. Okay, what a video full of really great crafts that not only helped me enjoy a little slow time while I crafted, but everything here has helped me prepare for this spring season. I really love how everything turned out. I'm eager to hear which one was your favorite. I'm really enjoying the look of this little to-do list. I think that's going to be very fun. Again, I love a change in the season because it gives you an opportunity to change up your routine, and I really, really love the idea of having a nice visual reminder of what I want to do with my day and how I want to structure that, and it's just a nice way to kind of keep me on track. And then of course, purging the closets, bringing in things that are new, having some organizational things that are going to help us get outside and also decorate outside, and then again, that goal of starting the raised garden bed. So I'm really enjoying how everything turned out. I'm excited to go ahead and put all of these things into action, and I'm very hopeful that this was inspiring to you as well. Let me know what you're doing to prepare for spring, and if this video was helpful in any way or you simply enjoyed watching, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. All right, everyone, be sure to check down in the description box below for a source list on all of the things that I used today, and I'll see you in the next video.